Glasgow, 1857. A young man lies dying in a rented room, writhing in pain, begging for water. By morning, he is dead. Inside his body, doctors later find arsenic. But this is not the detail that will shock Victorian Britain. What will truly scandalise the nation is the discovery of hundreds of love letters. Letters written by respectable young women from a wealthy family. Letters filled with devotion, desperation, and a fear of exposure. Her name? Madeleine Smith. And some believe she would rather kill than be ruined. Welcome back to Closing Crimes. Tonight's story is not just about death. It's about reputation, romance, and a verdict so controversial that it still echoes through history. Madeleine Smith was born into privilege. Her family lived comfortably in Glasgow's middle-class society, moving in respectable circles protective of status and appearance. For a young woman in Victorian Britain, expectations were clear. Be modest, be obedient, and marry well. A single whisper of scandal could destroy everything, and Madeleine had been raised to understand exactly what she stood to lose. Sometime in the mid-1850s, Madeleine met a man named Pierre-Emile Wandriller. He was charming, passionate, and crucially, not considered a suitable match. He was of lower status, foreign, romantic in a way that alarmed polite society. What began as flirtation deepened quickly. They wrote to each other constantly, letters carried by hand, hidden from family eyes. In them, Madeleine expressed longing, jealousy, and intense attachment. But relationships built in secrecy often ferment into danger, because secrets can become leverage. As time passed, Madeline's feelings appeared to have cooled, or perhaps really intruded. Marriage prospects from her own class emerged. Julier refused to disappear. He still had the letters, proof of intimacy, proof of impropriety. If revealed, they could humiliate her, damage her family, and end her hopes of a respectable marriage. Witnesses later claimed he threatened to show them. Whether he truly would have is unknown, but Madeleine believed he might, and that fear would shape everything. Around this time, Madeleine purchased arsenic from a local chemist. Not once, but multiple times. When asked why, she said it was for cosmetic purposes, to clear her skin, something not unheard of in that era. Still, it was dangerous, and people remembered. But soon after, Langelier became violently ill. In March 1857, after arranging to meet Madeleine, Langelier returned to his lodging. Within hours, he was overcome with agony, vomiting, convulsions, desperation. By morning, he was dead. An autopsy revealed arsenic in his system. Coincidental? I think not. And suspicion turned immediately toward the woman with motive. Madeleine Smith was arrested. Then came the revelation that set the country ablaze. The letters, hundreds of them, read aloud in court, they exposed a private world of passion and vulnerability. Victorian audiences were stunned. A woman of standing writing with such intensity, begging for affection, arguing, pleading. To some, they proved love. To others, they proved motive. If Langelier threatened to reveal them, Madeleine's future could collapse overnight. Crowds packed the courtroom. Newspapers printed every detail. The prosecution argued that Madeleine had lured her former lover into a final meeting and poisoned him to secure her freedom. The defense attacked the assumptions. Where was the proof she administered it? Could he have taken it himself? Was the case built on prejudice against a woman who dared to love recklessly? Day after day, testimony unfolded. The public picked sides. Finally, the jury returned. Their decision stunned many. Not proven, a uniquely Scottish verdict, It did not declare her innocent, but it did not find her guilty. Madeleine Smith walked free, and her story becomes immortal because uncertainty is powerful. Some believe the evidence is obvious: fear of exposure, poison purchases, a convenient death. Others see a young woman crushed by moral judgment, condemned more for her letters than for any act. Madeleine left Scotland and began a new life abroad. She married. She lived for decades, free, but never entirely beyond suspicion. This has been Closing Crimes, where history reminds us that truth in the courtroom and truth in reality are not always the same thing.